ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
Elmore deep, left side three, it's good! From 30 feet, John Elmore!
The Drive with Paul Swann.
Welcome into the Friday, August 2nd edition. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. It is Friday. That's right, Friday. Also the start of camp for the Thundering Herd. That's going on right now. And for those of you who aren't there, I'm sure you're going to be finding your way down to Jones C. Edwards Stadium sometime between now and the start of the football season. Of course, we're here for you, and you can join the program by calling the Miller Lite phone lines at 877-420-TALK, 877-420-8255. Miller Lite, hold true, great taste, only 96 calories. It is the original light beer. You can also find me on Twitter at Paul Swann. You can find the show on Facebook by searching The Drive with Paul Swann. I'd appreciate it if you join me on social media. The more you can join me on social media, the more things we can do. That's basically the deal here. And I would appreciate anything you guys can do. If you follow me on social media, also if you get the podcast, you can do that. Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, Stitcher Radio, wherever you get your podcast. You can follow along, download, subscribe. All that, of course, is all for you. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. And we got a show for you tonight because coming up, Shayna Gore, former Marshall basketball great. I get to call her that now, former Marshall basketball great. She's going to be on the program. She has signed a professional contract. She's going to be playing basketball in Spain. Now, I'm going to let her pronounce the name of the team because my Spanish is not that good. And I'm just going to be honest with you right now. I would rather admit that and just let her announce the name of the team that she is playing for. But she's going to be in Spain playing basketball, continuing her basketball career, playing pro. Maybe that's going to lead to something eventually in the States, maybe not. But she's got an opportunity now to continue and play basketball and get paid for it, really. I mean, you're going to get paid to play something you love and do something you enjoy, and you want to do that for a long time to come. You can make a good living in Spain and overseas. You can definitely make a career out of it. A lot of people have. So congratulations to her. So we'll talk to her a little bit later on. As we said, we'll get your phone calls in, 877-420-TALK, 877-420-8255. And there's a lot of things going on today. But before we get into all of that, something that I didn't get a chance to talk about yesterday, that it was happening. We were finding out about it yesterday while the show was going on. You remember when Marshall played Virginia Tech, and Marshall had an opportunity to keep Virginia Tech from being bowl eligible, but if Virginia Tech won that game, which they did, they would become bowl eligible. So I found this interesting. If you are a team with a losing record, you're a team that doesn't win your bowl game, you shouldn't expect a bowl ring, right? You shouldn't expect a ring. What's the point of a ring? A ring is going to be celebrating a championship, or at least a bowl victory. Let me say that. If you win a title, you're going to get a ring. If you win a bowl, you're going to get a ring. So say Marshall wins the East Division, you're going to get a ring. Conference champ, right? If you win the conference championship by beating the West Division team, you're going to add to that ring. And then you're going to play in a bowl game. And so you're going to get a ring for being a conference champ. That's a guarantee. Even if you don't win your bowl game, you're going to get a ring. And you play in the bowl, you win the bowl, you get a ring for that. Right? That's usually how it works. Well, not for Virginia Tech. Instead, their players got rings because they're going to commemorate the bowl season, not the victory. They're commemorating the fact that they became bowl eligible. 26 consecutive bowl game. That's the highlight of the season. And so they get a ring. They get a ring. They went 6-7 last season. They get a ring. I don't know how I feel about that because on the one hand, they didn't do anything. Yeah, they became bowl eligible. All right, you're commemorating. It's the 26th season that they've been bowl eligible, consecutive. It's amazing that they were able to continue that. A lot of people didn't like the way it happened. It guaranteed Marshall an opportunity to play one more game before everything went down. And Marshall had an opportunity to beat them and stop them and break that streak. And how amazing that would have been for Marshall if the Thundering Herd could have pulled that off. But instead, Virginia Tech gets the victory. They become bowl eligible. They lose the Military Bowl against Cincinnati, but they get a ring. I don't know how I feel about this because, again, you didn't win anything. You didn't win your bowl game. You didn't win your conference. You didn't do anything, and you get a ring to commemorate your season after a bowl loss. So what's the point here? Hey, here's your ring. You went 6-7, but we became bowl eligible. But on the other hand, I mean, I'm not going to tell a kid, hey, you know what? Virginia Tech's got some cash on hand, apparently. They have budgeted for rings. So they're going to spend the ring budget. They have budgeted for rings, and so here it is. It rings hollow to me a little bit because you look at rings, hey, that's a cool thing. You get a ring for something. I mean, you want a ring, Gabriel, our in-studio producer? You know, you're getting a ring. Hey, I'm not paying for it, but you're getting a ring. I'm gonna go down to the corner store. They got a bubble gum machine or something. You remember? You probably don't. You're too young. You put the quarter in, you get like a toy ring or something. Yeah, you get a toy or something. That's what your ring's gonna be. I get that though. That's something because it's a tactic. It's a ploy. You watch social media. You watch coaches, recruiting. It doesn't matter the school, Marshall included. What do you see? You see the rings. You see the jewelry. That's what they want. They want jewelry. They want hardware. They want rings. And you see that. And let's go to a Doc Holliday saying. This is a Doc Holliday saying. You know, kids buy with their eyes, man. He's right. Kids see the rings, because Doc's got to have his sparklers out, I'm sure, when he's on the road recruiting. You got some of the other coaches that are going to have their sparklers out. They're going to have their hardware. Players are going to have their stuff. I mean, Marshall got a ring for getting into not only for winning the Conference USA tournament and getting into the NCAA tournament. So they get a ring for the basketball team. And guess what? They're going to get a ring again because they won the CIT, or the College Insiders Tournament. They're going to get that because they won a postseason tournament. Not that they got into a postseason tournament. They won the postseason tournament, so they're going to get a ring. And that's pretty cool, actually. I mean, it's something you commemorate, and I get that. And at the same time, I can't tell a kid, look, the school's doing something nice for you. I can't say totally that's just wrong. You don't get a ring. You don't get a ring. And I mean, maybe that devalues the ring a little bit in my mind, but at the same time, if it makes that kid happy, I mean, let's be honest, these student athletes don't get much anyway. I mean, they get a lot, but they don't get much. They got to put the work in. They're definitely working full-time job being a student and athlete. I mean, that's the price you pay sometimes to continue your sports career. We're going to take a quick break because when we come back, we got Shayna Gore. She's going to talk to us about her professional career. She's going to play basketball in Spain, and we'll talk to her when we continue with today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann, the 2019 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Best Talk Show on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Don't forget, any part of today's program you miss or you just want to go back and listen to again, you can always download the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Just search The Drive with Paul Swann. It's time now to welcome to the program. When we have her on, she's always been one of our favorite guests. Her social media game is always on fire, and it's going to probably improve tenfold because now she is a professional basketball player. Shayna Gore joins us on the program, the former Marshall women's basketball great. I get to call you that now because your former player and your career was that good, so I get to call you that now. And I know you've only been gone, a few weeks?
What is it?
I said I get to call you former and great all in the same sentence now because you've only been gone a few weeks, but that's how good you were back in the day, Shayna. Only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's definitely something I think about every day. It's nothing like putting on that Marshall uniform. I'm sure gonna miss it come November.
So let's talk about what we got you here today. You've signed a pro contract. My Spanish isn't very good. You're going to be playing.
Me either. So
yeah, so we're going to suffer together here. Then you'll have to learn this. All I'm going to say is you're playing for Malaga, Spain's pro basketball team, and I'm going to let you pronounce that for me because I don't want to even give it a shot. That's how bad my Spanish is.
You know what? I've tried. I don't know how to say it. I think it's like me and Coach Lazar have talked about it over and over again, and I still don't get it. He was pronouncing it to me, and this is all I say. Huh? It's like Sija or something like that. I have no idea. Couldn't really tell you.
So I'm going to say Unicaja Baloncesto. That's best I'm going to get. That is
that was actually pretty good.
Oh, thank you. That is a professional basketball team in the Liga Femenina 2. Again, my Spanish not that good, so I'm sure there'll be a Spanish teacher on Monday, calling me, giving me lessons. But you're going to be playing professional basketball in Spain, and this has been a goal of yours to play professional basketball, and now it's coming true.
For sure. It's definitely been a dream of mine since I was a little kid and first picked up a basketball. When you're playing basketball, your top dream as a girl is to play in the WNBA. But, with the opportunities that we have now, you can go overseas and play in a beautiful country like I am and have the same opportunity. And I'm always a homebody. I mean, that's one reason why I chose Marshall. So this is a big step in my next chapter, and I'm going to take it. It's an opportunity I can't pass up. I'm super excited. It's going to be my first time out of the country, for sure. I've never been. The furthest I've been is El Paso, Texas. But my family's excited. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Take me through the process of where you were after Marshall basketball ended for you to get to this point. I know there's a lot of off-season workouts, training, trying to get yourself ready. And at the same time, you've got to deal with an agent now, and you're trying to find the best situation for you. So what was that process and journey like getting to this point?
Right after basketball ended, I had maybe 3 days of just laying around, moping around, just because it really, honestly, I'm going to admit, it just didn't sink in until, the beginning of July, when they started working out at Marshall, wow, I'm not returning to Marshall. I'm actually done. It just hit me, not until, July. But after the season ended, I went to the pro combines in Tampa, had a really good showing there, I thought. Been working out every day. I have a trainer named Elias in Hurricane. I go to him every other day, and I still go early in the mornings with Coach Lazar, and I'm in the weight room sometimes trying to stay in shape. I actually, just before this phone call, met my strength coach over there, and he was giving me some insights on, how many times we were going to go a week over there, because he's the strength and conditioning coach, and it was, going to be the same over here. And this summer I've really just been focusing on getting my body right, getting shots up, getting used to the basketball that they play with over there, getting away from the Nike ball that I played with at Marshall. But, I've mostly just been on the court. I took one vacation this summer, and it was in Myrtle Beach, and it was my first vacation since I was a junior in high school. So it's been a while, but I did take a few days to the beach, but I still worked out while I was there, so I don't really know if it was a vacation. But leading up to this and the process with my agent, it was like a waiting game. I really didn't find out about Spain, and I had another one from Germany. that I never really told anybody about. It was between them and a team from Germany. It was kind of a waiting game. I would hear from my agent every now and then, and when this offer came, it was an offer that I definitely couldn't pass up, and my family didn't want me to pass up. So,
What was your reaction when you did? I know it sounds like there was a lot of anticipation, a lot of angst, but
yeah.
when you found out and you actually got that offer and it was solid, you knew that you were going to be a professional basketball player. What was going through your mind?
Just a lot of mixed emotions. I definitely cried some because this is it's like a dream come true. You set so many goals out for yourself, especially if it's something you really love doing. I set my goals in high school and achieved them in high school. I set goals at Marshall, achieved all of them but a championship. But and then you set your next. Every little girl's dream is that next after college. Like if you're in high school, your dream is playing college. If you're in college, your dream is to play professionally. And this is the highest you can go. And I feel like when I got this offer and I knew it was like I've reached it. Like I've done what it takes. Now I just need to just keep going. It's kind of just like I was relieved. I was like, I could finally call myself a professional basketball player.
Shayna Gore joining us on the program, signing a professional contract to play in Spain, part of the Spanish Women's Basketball League. So now you've got to get ready to head overseas. When does that journey begin for you? You got a few days to get ready, or are you expected right away?
Yep. I actually leave the last weekend of this month. So I got a few more weeks. I'm actually still living in Huntington right now because it's easier access to the can and to my guy in Hurricane, where I'm still working out, and in the weight room here at the can too that we've used. I'll move back to Logan probably around the 24th or 25th. So that way I'll have a whole week with my family and enough time to say goodbye to them before I head out.
Shayna Gore joining us on the program. So what do you anticipate when you get over there? What's your expectation when you land, when you get to the arena, everything? What are you anticipating? What have you been told so far?
I've been told that my backyard is no longer a yard, it's a beach. So I've been told that my teammates are awesome. There's a few on there that speak really good English, and then there's some that don't really understand it. But my mindset has always been, no matter what team or coach I'm playing for, I need to get over there and I need to build a bond with my teammates so they're able to trust me, because I'm trying to get comfortable with them from a different country, and they're trying to get comfortable with me from a different country. So my expectations and just me going over is just getting comfortable with my teammates and my coaches and getting ready to go to work, because I actually just got a message before the phone call. Our first game is October 4th or 5th in Barcelona. So we have to get over there and get ready to go to work, because my first game over there is a month and a half, 2 months away.
That's got to be exciting. So now that you're going to Spain, are you sitting there thinking, man, I wish I would have paid more attention to Miss Santos's Spanish lessons?
For sure.
I'm sure she's a celebrity today because you're going to Spain, and were you a fair student in her class? A, B, C? Did you do okay?
Yeah, I was a B student for Spanish. I was actually. But she was a great teacher. She was really patient with us because she knew what she had herself up against. She would even throw us these little Spanish parties, like these little holidays in her class, and have food for us there. So I kind of know what the holidays are like over there now. But my mom's boss actually got me this translator that hooks up to my phone. It's like an Apple translator. And when they talk to me, I just hit a button, and my phone will translate English back to me what they're saying. So,
Shayna Gore is joining us on the program. So when you made the announcement and the release went out, social media and everything else blew up for you. Who's been in touch with you? I'm sure family, friends, your parents obviously knew, but yeah, you've gotten some love as well from your new team and your new country.
For sure. When I woke up this morning, my phone was going nuts. I think at one point today I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I had to work today because I still have a summer job. I've had this same summer job for 3 summers now, and I went to get a little bit more extra money, so I had to put it on Do Not Disturb today at work. And I've had some really, you just at moments like this is when you know, like, the kind of support that you have. I already knew because this is like the type of kid I am. Like, I already knew the support I had and the people I had behind me 100%. But it was really cool to see that they were welcoming me like that. And it was kind of like I was already a part of their family. They was just, welcome to paradise, welcome to our city. And it's really nice to see that, especially from my perspective, because I've never been out of the country.
What do you know about your new team? And I know you're going to hit the historical landmarks and you're going to do all that touristy stuff. But what do you know actually about the team you're going to play for and their history, their tradition, and the league you're going to?
Yeah. So I'll be playing in the Spanish League. It's only their 3rd year with this team, but they actually won last year because I was talking to my roommate and they actually won. So they're on the uprising, which is pretty cool. It seems like I'm always going to a team that is building their program or their men's team is just phenomenal. At Logan, it was like that. Our boys' team was awesome. I was at Marshall. Our men's team was awesome. And I'm going here now, and our men's team is number 1 in the Spanish League. So it's kind of like I'm on a team that's like on the rise, and our men's team is phenomenal. So, but yeah, it's their 3rd year so far. This will be their 4th, I think, coming up. There's 29 teams in the Spanish League, and I think they won it last year, and the year before they placed like 5th, I think, and they made the playoff. They told me I will get a week here for Christmas. I'll come back for Christmas. And then I'll go back until the end of April. But they said we're more than likely going to make the playoffs. So it'll be the end of May when I come back. And I was talking to my agent. My agent said they were really big on me. They're really big on Americans that can score at will. So that's what they signed me for. Because I was kind of like, well, of course I'm going to go in and prove myself because that's just who I am as a player. But they said I'm going to get a lot of playing time because they do think I score at will, which is pretty, like, reassuring to hear, really good to hear as a player. But there's no doubt I'll get over there and work my butt off to prove it to them that not only do you need to play me, I'm going to show you that I can, you know.
Is this a viable path for you to get back and maybe take a run at the WNBA, or is this just maybe on par with that and this is just your opportunity? Because it seems like more and more playing overseas has become not only a valid option for athletes who want to continue their career, but you don't necessarily need to come back. Because you can make a great living overseas. The basketball is really good. They seem to have a passionate fan base for it. And I know that's a dream for everyone to play either in the NBA or the WNBA. But really, if you make it big over there, that could be just like the WNBA, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, coming from America, your goal is to play professionally. Your goal, if you're a boy or a guy, your goal is to play in the NBA. If you're a girl, your goal is to play in the WNBA. And I've reached the professional league, like I've reached as high as I can go. But in the back of my mind, the WNBA is still there. Like, I still want to reach that. And I came close this summer. I barely missed the training camp roster for the Dallas Wings. But that I'm not going to push until I at least get an opportunity to showcase my talent on that kind of level. But, yeah, just like overseas, they love their basketball, especially where I'm going. My roommate says they love basketball. The hospitality that they give us over there she said, it's unreal. And I'm really excited about that. She said I'm liable to get off the plane, and they're going to have their arms open ready for hugs. And that was really comforting to hear. But the basketball over there is big. They love their basketball. The men's games get packed. Our games get packed. And that's kind of what I like. That's kind of what makes me go and what makes me play too. So,
Shayna Gore is joining us on the program. She has signed a professional contract. She's going to be playing in the Spanish Women's Basketball League, and that's amazing. You're going to go play professional basketball. A young lady from Logan, West Virginia, and now you're making your way all the way to overseas playing professional basketball. That's really a dream come true, right?
For sure. Definitely something me and my dad and my mom that we've really worked hard for and pushed for. And, I credit to my dad. My dad's seen it first. I was in the 8th grade. I played softball too. I was a really good softball player, but he was like, you need to choose one so we can focus on one and keep our mind on that. And we went with basketball, and my dad's pushed me to get me to where I am today. And I owe a lot to him. I owe a lot to my mom, because my mom's she's just been there. She's been my cheerleader. She's been my number one. And I couldn't think of a more special moment for us when I signed those papers the other day. You could just see my parents, how proud they were, and that's all I really wanted to do, was just make my parents proud of me. So,
congratulations. Good luck. Hopefully we're going to see you back in the States sooner than later, but hopefully it's going to be another league for you to conquer. And I can't wait to see all of these Spanish basketball jerseys floating around town, because you know it's going to happen. There are going to be some of those jerseys making their way back here to Huntington in the area.
That's right. That's the plan. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Shayna. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Shayna Gore, former Marshall women's basketball great. Well, she's a former Marshall basketball player. She was still pretty great, so that doesn't go away. We are going to come back and we'll get some of your phone calls in. You can join us on the program, 877-420-TALK, 877-420-8255. We got more on the way. It's The Drive, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
To be a part of the program, all you have to do is call us on the Miller Lite phone lines at 877-420-TALK, 877-420-8255. Miller Lite holds true, great taste, only 96 calories. The original light beer. All those years in high school and college, and I'm sitting here thinking, why do I need Spanish? Why do I need say French? Why am I taking that? Why am I taking Spanish? I'm in college. I'm working the campus radio station. I've got Dr. Charles G. Bailey as my advisor. He's the faculty manager. Dr. Bailey, why do I need to take Spanish? I'm going into radio, American radio. I'm broadcasting. I'm going to be Paul Swann. Okay, well, the conversation wasn't that grandiose, but why do I need Spanish? Well, because little did I know that I would have an opportunity to talk to a professional basketball player years from now who just signed a contract to play Spanish women's basketball. And I would have to be able to say the name of the team, or at least the name of the city, Malaga, Spain. That's the best you're going to get out of me for Shayna Gore's new home. So I was just thinking about that. Okay, yeah, you were right. Needed to take better care of my studies in Spanish and other foreign languages. So you can, of course, empathize with me, where you don't have to use that every day in normal conversation when we talk about Marshall football, at least not yet anyway. And we got some good news today. Of course, camp's going on, and that's going to be going on for the next few weeks until the start of the season. And Marshall football's Matt Beardall has been selected to the Patrick Manley Award watch list. That usually goes, and I mean usually, it's almost like clockwork. It will go to the best long snapper in the FBS. Now, Beardall, a preseason All-Conference USA selection this season, got first-team honors a year ago. He has had a pretty good go of it, 34 consecutive starts at the position. Now, to win this, you've got to be a senior standing. It means you've got to be a senior. You can't be anything else other than a senior. So you got to be a senior. You got to have started 75 games in your senior year. Snap on punts and placements and demonstrate a strong mentality, noble athleticism, as well as speed, accuracy, and consistency in snaps. That's the description that was sent out to us today. So who picks this thing? Well, you've got former NFL long snappers, punters and kickers, special team coaches, snapping instructors, NFL player agents, and sports writers. So you got a pretty good list of people who can give a diverse picture of experience and point of view. So we'll find out if Beardall is going to be a semifinalist on Monday, November 16th. Finalists will be announced the following Monday. December 14th will be the day the winner is announced. So congratulations to him. It means people are paying attention. And you make the list. Again, it's very, very prestigious to make the list. It's harder to stay on the list. Some of that's in your control. Some of it's not. So that's a big deal. It means people are paying attention to Marshall football and some of the players surrounding the football team. And before we hit the break, one more item coming from the university today. We try to pay attention to this stuff as much as possible. Abigail Short named the 2018-19 Scholar Athlete of the Year for Women's Cross Country by the Faculty Athletics Representatives of Conference USA. She was named to a third-team co-SIDA Academic All-American this season, had a perfect GPA throughout her 4 years with the Thundering Herd. She finished within the top 5 in 5 of Marshall's 6 2018 cross-country meets. So that's a pretty big deal for her. We'll take our final break, come back. We will continue on with today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Now, back to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Baseball action coming up tonight, 7:05 first pitch. It'll be the Pittsburgh Pirates and the New York Mets. You can catch that action right here on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930. Let's hope that the Pirates can start winning some games. Right now, they're not the worst team in baseball. Let's hope that they can reverse the trend, and I will take decent for the rest of the year. We got about a month or so to go. I'm already thinking pro football. How many of you watched last night's Hall of Fame game? Hall of Fame game. I got Thursday night football. I didn't care that I was watching Scrubs. No, I'm watching football for the first time in several months, and I was completely good with it. Totally good with it. And sure, it's the Hall of Fame game. I don't know what you get out of that other than, hey, they're playing football. What do you think about that? You got the Hall of Fame game, and it's played on a Thursday. So they're playing that ahead of the ceremony. I actually like that. Got me a little excited for the ceremony now. And it was fun because you got to see some of those guys. They brought them on the radio broadcast, and they brought them on the television broadcast as well. Got a chance to hear a little bit of their stories ahead of the Hall of Fame ceremony. I think that's a great way to promote that as well. Plus, we had Thursday night football. I mean, there's nothing on. What's on Thursday nights? Can you tell me television-wise? I'm looking at you, Gabriel Sellards, our producer extraordinaire. You don't watch TV either on Thursday night. I mean, was it like The Bachelor? Is that over? I mean, that was polluting my social media feed.
I don't know.
Survivor, is that stupidity still on? What's that new one? Love Island. Have you heard about this one? I mean, this goofy stuff that just pollutes my social media feed. Come on, got football. It's back. I'm totally on board with it. And, of course, then there's the NFL promoting the preseason package. And I'm sitting there going, no, I'm not falling for that. There used to be a Game Pass package where I think I paid maybe a few bucks, just a few dollars, and I got to watch. And at the time, I didn't have that many options, but I was watching it on a tablet a few years ago. I got to watch Cincinnati Bengals preseason football because you're not going to hear or see that stuff locally on TV. They're not showing that stuff. We're going to have a few of the preseason games over on our sister station, Cat Sports, 93.3 and 1340. And when they don't conflict with the Pirates, we're going to have the Bengals right here as well. And I was like, why'd you go ruin a good thing, NFL? Because they started jamming that thing up with other features. And you have to pay like $40, $50. It's like the NFL Rewind package, at least it was last year. And they're promoting that, and I'm just sitting there thinking, come on, NFL, you want me to really be excited about football. Make it easier for me to see football. I would have paid a few dollars to watch preseason football on a streaming service. I would have paid a few bucks. I'm not paying this package, and I'm not doing that. And I was looking at the NFL Sunday ticket. I can't afford that either. I can't afford that. I want to afford that. I can't afford that. And it's terrible because I really wouldn't need it if you could actually get to see the games that are of interest to your area on local television. And I can't even see those games. I'm probably not going to be able to see those games because there's a carriage dispute between the owner of the station locally here in Huntington, WOWK, and DirecTV. There's a carriage dispute right now. And I check the website now and then to see what they're talking about, and it looks like CBS is also in a carriage dispute with some of their owned and operated stations. It's getting harder and harder to watch sports, and you would covet this programming more. Seriously, this is the more coveted programming that you could put on TV. It's one of the most coveted things because it's live. I'm not DVRing it. I'm not delaying it. I'm not going back and picking it up on streaming. It's live. You can't beat live sports for programming. And it just feels like there's roadblock after roadblock after roadblock for me to even get to watch most of this stuff. I mean, thankfully, I've got a radio. And that's how I usually, and even though I've got it, I consume when I listen to the radio. That's how I'm doing. I'm listening to the radio. I'm listening to the radio for the game. Now, don't get me wrong, I want to watch the game as well. And I know that's a complaint for a lot of you. And I don't want to get that started again because I'm not going to be here next week. So give me a week on that. But the argument's been you can't make it easier to watch Marshall football. Make it easier. Get more people excited. And I think there actually is something to that because Marshall football, when it was on local television in the 90s, of course, during the height of the 1AA days, Marshall was opening up the then brand new stadium. You can see games every Saturday. There was some excitement there. Of course, you could also see it on Sports South. That was interesting, to say the least, that Marshall had better television coverage in so many areas than some of the other schools. Now it's all streaming, and we just haven't got to that point yet where it's more accepted. I mean, for me, you put the games on ESPN Plus, I'm good. I can get that. It's real easy for me. And I think you're going to see eventually, if you want to show a game, let's put it to you this way. We're going to get to the point where that's where you're going to get a lot of this content. So if you want to say go to, you're a restaurant, a sports bar, somewhere that's not in the immediate area, and you want to say, hey, put the Marshall game up, you might have to tell them for a second, hey, it's on ESPN Plus. Okay. I think you're going to see that a little bit more. I don't know. All right, next week we've got an all-star cast. Hopefully we don't have technical problems that take us off the air for a week. And we're going to try this again. We're going to have Bill Cornwell. We're going to have Dave Walsh. Those guys will do a fantastic job while I'm away. Give them all the love and support you can. I'll be back in a week as we get ready for football season. Good night, everyone.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington. This is your radio home for Pittsburgh Pirates baseball. ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.